All right, what's going on, guys? Wanted to do a quick review of the two trades I took on live this morning. Both losses, so even more important to do a trade review. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit of a tough session, and also I made some mistakes as well. So I'm just gonna go through all of it. If you guys were on live, right, coming into the day, I was pretty risk off, mostly because on the 1 hour chart here at this time, we were really smack dab inside of this range here, this higher time frame range with Asia lows being down here. And this was coming after a massive move down on Friday and then a really big rally on Monday. So we were smack dab in this range, kind of in the middle of no man's land, where we didn't know if we wanted to continue higher, which we ended up doing, or even breaking structure to the downside and continuing back down towards demand. So at that point, we were kind of like in limbo. Well, at least I was in limbo where I'm like, okay, let's wait for confirmation in either way. I did not do the best job of waiting for that confirmation. I'll get into the trades I took here in a second. Let's go to the 1 minute just because that's where a lot of my executions are. So we were patient. Market opened right here where this yellow line is. Didn't take any trades through here. We came down. We took New York lows right off the bat right there. Right, so sweeping New York lows, bought up aggressively, but there was really no inverses, like nothing to really take this trade off of unless you're being just an absolute savage and you just like ripped it right here. Then that would have been a pretty nice, scalp, at least up towards previous New York highs. Very risky, but nonetheless, decent scalp. And then through this area, like very, very risk off, right? Take previous New York highs, come back down, take the previous New York highs, consolidate, and then we get this breakout. And after we got this breakout, it actually looked pretty good. And this was my fault. I should have waited for a little bit more confirmation on this, but because of how aggressive this breakout was and we were holding over supply, we had just broken structure on the 15-minute time frame as well, right through there. I did like this for continuation, especially with all the space. Now, I was looking for more of a move like this, like a little bit more of an aggressive move. So I did take this one a little bit earlier. Once we pulled back here on the 1 minute and we started getting bought up, I did take the long, like literally right here, and I picked the top. So right there, I was looking for the continuation. I did give it some more space in case we were just going to pull back to supply flip demand, maybe this imbalance, and hold through here. And as soon as we had that big drop and we got this pause bar, we were pretty cooked. Should have had a much bigger reaction, either fall through right away off of here for that continued uptrend, or once we came back down aggressively, we should have gotten bought up very aggressively right there. And as soon as that didn't happen, I ended up having to stop out on this bar here for I did size half size, but I stopped out for more than I would have wanted to begin with. So when it comes to this trade, what I could have done better is I should have waited for price to pull back into this area, or have just waited for further confirmation. Even if I missed out on some of the trade or pushed up a little bit more first, then try to maybe grab an entry somewhere through here after it's been more confirmed, and then caught in the move, because I also missed out on a really good downside look, right? Break a structure, right? Completely failed through here. We could have gotten short up through this area, and we could have had a very tight stop on something like that. Say we got short anywhere through here, could have had to stop a little bit over this wick, given it even a little bit more space up here, and have targeted down towards VWAP in the open, and that would have been a really nice trade. About 70 points down to the open, 56 down to VWAP, risking about, call it 18 to 20. So that would have been a really nice take if I was a little more patient up there. So that was the first error I made. It looked good at the time on the 1 minute, but it is what it is. So then the next trade, I really liked this one actually a lot. Broke structure again, right inverse, looked very, very good on the higher time frames. Broke structure, broke that trend line, held, had continuation fall through on the 15-minute. It looked good at the time. If I go to the 15-minute right over here, right, we had just swept up here, and this 15-minute looked bearish as hell. And it looked like we were going to get that bigger move down, especially after breaking, and we would have had a nice clean move down lower. Unfortunately, that is not what we got. I picked the exact bottom on this one, again, entering a little bit too early without confirmation. So if I go to the opening print right here, once we closed, we came back up, tested VWAP. I got short somewhere down through here. I got short half size, same as this one. I got short half size, 5M and Q, and we never got that breakdown. What I was really looking for was us to break down, hold under VWAP, do something like this, and then get that aggressive move down towards this low is where I take a very light trim, and then ultimately that much bigger move down towards the hourly and maybe even Asia lows. And it just wasn't happening today. We held the OP to the tick and then completely rallied from there and ended up getting some really clean setups later on in the session. Unfortunately, because I'm very happy I have it, but if I take 2 losses in a row, typically I'll stop, especially because that first loss was a little bit larger than I wanted it to be. So I just called it before I completely went on till, especially because with this action, I'm like, I don't know what to expect. I think we're just going to stay in this range. Nonetheless, some good setups came after here, broke out, held supply nicely, some good long opportunities through here. This is actually a much better rendition of what I was looking to happen here, right? So if we would have pulled back, I was looking for us to hold supply, flip demand like that, and we didn't get that here, right? So this is literally this mirror, just exactly what I wanted to happen and what I didn't want to happen right here. And then through there, once we hold and respect, we can get long. I'll just erase that. We can get long through here, stop underneath this low. We also pull back into that imbalance perfectly right there. Get long through there. If you want a little bit more confirmation, you can get long through here, stop under here. And then at that point, I would just be holding this bad boy up. Once we get this big pullback, boom, stopping volume, you could try and get long again back through here with the stop under here. I'd be trimming at this hourly and then looking for that move up. I guess there was no other level up there. Thought there was another high up here, but just for continuation after that, this one's a little bit riskier, worse risk to reward. This one's an epic risk to reward right here. And again, that's pretty much what I was looking for on that first trade. It just didn't have the follow through. So anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful. Again, I apologize. It was so late at night. Had a busy day getting ready to leave in 2 days and then had a community call. So let me know your feedback. And if these help you guys, I'm happy to do more of them. Peace.